you are more focused towards only on studies, or do you had any other things actually in the college day?
People today have a lot of ambitions, right? I didn't have any ambitions at all. I was very happy with my place. And once maybe I wanted to be a wrestler like John Cena. I keep mentioning this because I used to watch a lot of wrestling, but I didn't have one concrete ambition in my life. I just wanted to have a good job, get married, have kids. That's all I wanted to ever do in my life. But
Zoho is a dream for so many people. How was your experience with Zoho?
Till then, I knew Zoho is a company, but I didn't know it's such a big company. Because especially in my third year, who were the heroes? It's not Rajini, Surya or Vijay. People who can code well, they were the heroes. I was very jealous about those people. Because I tried to code. So when I post 10 stories, one story would blow up. One video would blow up on Instagram. Why did that one video blow up? And only later I realized...
Can I call that as a formula for reaching some message effectively?
Storytelling is one of the most powerful tools to put your message across to the world. The thing is, storytelling is a buzzword.
What kind of precaution or advice you would give it to somebody else who wanted to take it, entrepreneurship?
There is a lot of bumpy roads that we will have to take. But to be honest,
India hero. It is all not about only Sachin Tendulkar, or not about only Virat Kohli, or not about only Dhoni, or recently Gukesh, what we have seen. There is so many other achievers are there. Today we have Epaphra. Do I spell the name or pronounce his name properly? Let me go and check with him actually. Thanks for welcoming. Welcome to the part of this podcast actually in Heroes. So in this series, we are going to feature some of the achievers who's really done amazing work. I could see a lot of things you have done, which is definitely inspiring for so many people actually. First thing is, I wanted to ask you is, did I pronounce your name properly?
Yeah. So first of all, it's an honor. Thank you for having me here.
Yeah.
And to answer your question, it's not right.
Not right.
It's not right.
So am I the 100th person who was not pronounced well, or am I okay?
I wish you are the 100th person, but I don't think. I think you will be like 1,000th or 10,000th person because I've been dealing with this for all my life.
Okay.
So yeah, it's Epaphra.
Yeah. Okay.
Epaphra.
Yeah. Okay. So how did this name came, and who was kept this name for you actually?
This is one question every people whom I talk to, they will ask this one question. So same answer, credits to my grandma.
Okay.
So even before I was born, she was like, be it a boy or girl, it should be Epaphra. So Epaphra is a character in Bible.
Okay. That's great.
It's a unisex name actually.
Oh, that's great. Okay, that's good. Okay. So tell about this. I heard that you come from Tirunelveli. Yeah. So where is the schooling done? And tell about, because you are a very good storyteller actually. Where is this habit, or is it a gene? How did you pick up this actually?
Okay, so to answer your first question again, I was from Tirunelveli. I did my whole schooling there.
Okay.
And I also did half of my schooling in Namakkal. I studied there as well because my mom is a government teacher.
Okay.
So since she got transferred, we went there. Okay. But most of my schooling was done in Tirunelveli.
Okay, Tirunelveli is it?
Yeah.
Because the Namakkal is also known for, say, in the 11th standard, 12th standard, you have to study seeing the wall for about 25 hours in a day. Exactly. Is that not for those kind of things, right?
Yeah, people go to Namakkal especially for the boards exam, but I didn't go there. I came back to Tirunelveli when I'm about to do my 10th grade or 11th grade. Okay. But I went there because of my mom's transfer. Okay. Yeah, luckily I wasn't there.
Okay. How good you are as a student? Because teachers son generally will not study well. Yeah. How good you are?
Honestly, I'm a very good student.
Very good student, is it? Okay. That's good. Okay. Then, you did move to Coimbatore for your, college.
Yeah.
So, how was the Coimbatore life actually? As a college student, how good you are? You are more focused towards only on studies, or do you had any other things actually in the college days?
Okay, so before college, when I was in my school, I had very limited beliefs. Okay. So I was given very few tasks in my life.
Okay.
Let's say one would be a good son to my parents. Okay. That's one task. Okay. And be a good student in my class. Okay. And that was all I wanted to do. And I was very content with it. Okay, I'm getting good grades. My parents are happy about me. Okay. I didn't have any ambitions. Okay. I didn't want to be a billionaire or like people today have a lot of ambitions, right?
Okay.
I didn't have any ambitions at all.
Okay.
I was very happy with my place. And once I went out of my hometown, which is Tirunelveli, I joined Krishna College in Coimbatore.
Okay.
And I joined for mechanical engineering. But more than the degree or any subject that I've been taught, I've learned so much from the people I studied with. So I saw people who are born and brought up from Coimbatore, the way they approach, generally friendship, or the way they approach learning, everything blew my mind. Because till then, I had no competition in my school. So I was very comfortable. I would be in the top 5 ranks. So it was a very happy life. But once I entered Coimbatore, I felt very inadequate, honestly.
Okay.
I had a lot of very high feeling of inferiority.
Okay.
Very high feeling of inferiority.
Okay.
And I didn't even know how to break out of it because I realized I saw many people with so many talents, and I want to do something to get out of it. I want to be popular, but I didn't know how to dance. I don't know how to sing. The only thing I know is to just read the book and get good grades. My parents were happy, but not the people in my class were happy about it. So that was quite a tough time. But I'm happy about it because if I was in Tirunelveli, I don't think I would have been aware about a lot of other things that's happening in the world. And that's quite a starting point to a lot of other things that's happened in my life.
I remember a story, I heard it in the past actually. It is like a river. Okay. So, your schooling is like a comfortable, smooth river. Flow. The water was like, you are also, going through the current.
Yeah.
So, since you are passing through the current, the way how the current goes, you are also going through. There's a one point, there was a dip.
Yeah.
It's like, still it is not Niagara, but still it is a fall is too heavy. That's nothing like your college, what you're saying. And you use the word limiting belief, and you also use the word inferiority actually. Okay. See, these are all the things which changes people's life. Okay. There's because generally I believe change happens in only 2 ways. One is you realize and change. Otherwise, you go and hit something drastic in your life where you have not been given a choice, where you have to, the pain is too high and changes. In this, which one you went through it actually?
I would say the second one, because as you rightly mentioned, it was very evident that I felt very inferior. And the worst part about that was I didn't know what to do. The only answer that I had at that point is, okay, I'm feeling inferior. Now I should go to gym. And then I started working out.
Okay.
But yet I felt inferior. I had abs, I had good body.
Okay.
Yet I felt inferior.
Okay.
And I didn't know what else to do. So at that phase, I've tried everything that was in my control to, get out of it.
Okay.
And to me, I've spoken to a lot of people who I used to look up to.
Okay.
And basically see what I can do with my life.
Okay.
Yeah, I had and regarding the other one, which is the limited belief, the reason why I mentioned that was, as I mentioned earlier, I didn't have any ambitions, honestly. Maybe I wanted to be a wrestler like John Cena. I keep mentioning this because I used to watch a lot of wrestling.
Okay.
But I didn't have one concrete ambition in my life when I was younger. I just wanted to have a good job, get married, have kids. I want to live like my parents. That's all I wanted to ever do in my life. But I still feel like people should just be aware about the opportunities. Not necessarily they will have to be bigger, but they should know that there is a third lane. There is a fourth lane. Other than these 2 lanes, there are multiple lanes in which you can hop on if you want to.
Yeah.
I didn't know there were lanes in the first place.
Yeah.
So that's why I mentioned like my beliefs were very limited. And I really wish it wasn't as limited as that.
Okay. Yeah. But I still remember the story which I normally tell the kids actually. So, generally I ask the children, say, what do you want to do life? People comes and say like, I seriously do not know. I give them a metaphor saying like, there was a cat was walking on the road. Okay. There was a tiger was standing. The tiger was asking, say, where do you want to go? The cat said, I don't know. Said, doesn't matter which road you take the road wherever you wanted to go, take the road.
Okay.
Sometime, as you really said, like, I mean, if you're really sure of what you wanted, even that become a motivation and give a clarity on sometime what you wanted to do also
Yeah.
in life actually. Okay. So coming back to the point again to the college life actually. So you said like some point say like I really wanted to have this college life, whereas people from Coimbatore enjoying their life actually. So I mean at least by end of this college, would you able to make the difference or not actually?
Okay, so in the first 2 years of college, even though I felt superior, I've learned so many things from there because that's the first time I've lived with a bunch of other guys. So basically, I did my UG in mechanical engineer, and it's like basically a prison. Everybody in mechanical department is men. Wherever you turn, you will be seeing men.
Yeah.
And I had like 4 to 5 roommates, and it was fun. That's where I learned to how to handle people, develop my interpersonal skills.
Okay.
If you want to arrange a trip with like 59 other guys, that's where you learn event management.
Yeah.
So I've learned so many things like that. But by the end of my second year, COVID happened.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So COVID, different people have
For 2
different
years.
stories.
2 years of
yeah. I'm
okay.
happy about it. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, different people have different stories that happened in COVID. But I went back to my hometown, and at that point, I think that was really helped me personally. I learned so many things at that point. I had so much time. So till then, I had no choice. Whether I like it or not, I will have to go to the college. I will have to listen to the lectures, even though I couldn't get any of those. But after that, I had a choice. Either I can listen to the lecture. I mean, I can listen to the lecture, or I can do anything else or experiment with my own time. So I started to learn guitar. I started to go to do proper workout. I learned finance. I learned a little bit about economics as well. And I did a lot of writing internship.
Very good.
And I also joined Toastmasters, which is a speech club. I was very active on Toastmasters. And yeah, I think that gave me a lot of confidence. I mean, they say this, right? The best way to gain confidence is develop your competence. So I tried to acquire a lot of skills just to make myself feel good and feel less insecure and less inferior.
Okay.
So that I have a lot more things to say other than I'm from Tirunelveli.
Then how did mechanical come here? Because you are not a person who's, I mean, typically the way how I see you or like, how you perceive yourself actually. Okay. I mean, you are not a mechanical guy who's like, really wanted to do something with the automobile stuff or something. How did you go? Is it somebody's influence or what actually?
So again, the answer would be the limiting belief. Because I've been given tasks all my life.
Oh, okay.
So, be a good child. Done. Get good grades. Done. Go to engineering. Done. What degree? Mechanical, because evergreen. Done.
Okay.
Till then, I had not thought anything for myself.
Parents' best.
I mean, we couldn't blame them also.
Yeah.
At that time, making my parents was my only objective in my life, and I was happy that I could accomplish that.
Yeah.
So that's why I got into mechanical engineering, and just 6 months into the program, I understood this is not for me.
Okay.
But the problem is I didn't know what else to do. So yeah.
That's good. So what happened after that actually? After mechanical, what happens? Like you join into some automobile company? Because generally I hear, I mean, I was going through some of things. You joined in Zoho. Zoho is your first job?
Exactly, yeah.
Okay. So is it a campus or off campus actually?
It's off campus,
So how was Zoho? Because Zoho is a dream for so many people. I mean, being part of Zoho is always a dream for so many people. How was your experience with Zoho actually?
Yeah, so I think I should thank COVID for this, because that's where I've developed my other skills, because it's evident that I don't have the technical skills to be a mechanical engineer, right? So what else do I have? So I've started to experiment with other things, right? Like writing, communication, and finance. And I've tried a couple of other things.
Okay.
And I've decided, at that point, especially in my third year, who were the heroes? It's not Rajni, Surya or Vijay. People who can code well, they were the heroes. I was very jealous about those people because I tried to code. It's not like, I failed and then I left it. I've tried to code for like 6 to 8 months, but I couldn't. I tried to develop a game. There is this famous course from Udemy. I tried that. and a lot of other courses, but I just couldn't get to code.
Okay.
I'm very envious about people who can code well.
Okay.
So I figured, okay, for me, coding is not something I can do well. So let's take communication. Okay, what do I do? What are the ways that I can make money through communication? Okay, MBA. So I was like, okay, let's do MBA. So where do I study MBA? And then I did my research and I figured, okay, IIMs are the good place to do MBAs.
Okay.
And then what do I do to get into IIMs? I understood that there is something called CAT. And then from that moment, I saw a lot of videos, but the thing is, I didn't see any videos about CAT, but all of those videos are from the IIM Insider page, which is about IIM campus. I didn't watch the tutorials at all.
Okay.
I was just wasting my time watching the videos of the IIM tour, the interviews, and then I realized I just want the end goal, which is I want to be in the IIM, but I was not ready to get into the process of going into CAT or everything.
Okay.
So I was very confused. Okay, should I take another year and prepare CAT, or I was still confused at that point, and I was working out on one evening. I was working out in my hometown, Tirunelveli, and I got a message in WhatsApp, and it mentioned, one of my friends forwarded this message, like there is this off-campus drive that's happening in Zoho. Till then, I knew Zoho is a company, but I didn't know it's such a big company. Because I had no exposure.
He's also from Tirunelveli.
Yeah, he's also from Tirunelveli, But at that point, I didn't know any of these things. But I know it's a decent company, and it was a non-technical role. Okay, there is a non-technical role in IT. That's when I knew. So I was like, okay, even if I'm doing an MBA, even if I want to do MBA, having such experience will be helpful to you, because this is a non-technical role. I will have to face customers day in and day out. It will be a good experience for me. So at that night, I booked ticket to Coimbatore. It happened in Coimbatore.
Okay.
And the interview happened. Okay. And throughout the interview, they tested my communication. How do I present topics and stuff like that, and little bit coding. So all the videos that I watched earlier helped me with the interview, and I was able to crack it. That was the only interview that I attended in my life.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, the concept of storytelling. Yeah. Okay. Still, I wanted to have how early or later point of in your life you figured out you are a good storyteller, or is somebody else, in your parents or grandparents are good at storytellers actually?
Okay, so before that, a lot of things happened. Only after I started creating content, I figured about storytelling. Till then, I had no clue about what storytelling is.
Okay.
So when I started creating content, I would post I was posting a lot of videos, and I wouldn't complain like my videos didn't work out at all. I didn't have a very sad story in that phase. But for example, when I post 10 stories, one story would blow up. One video would blow up, right? On Instagram. And I was wondering, why did that one video blow up? Because I was putting the same efforts in each and every reel. Every reel has good editing, good writing. But why did that one video blow up? And only later I realized all the videos that blew up had one comment, which is, bro, your storytelling is nice. I didn't even know what storytelling is till that point. And then I consciously read more about it, learned more about it, and then I realized all this while I've been applying storytelling in my content without my consciousness. So I was able to trace those patterns and everything, and then I learned so much. And after that, I started that Kutti Story series where I've applied everything that I've learned in that series, and it worked out.
Yeah, that was interesting because I went through a lot of videos of Kutti Story actually. I mean, in 60-second crisp, and the message is being conveyed such a manner that anybody and everybody can understand that actually. I mean, definitely, if something is given an identity for you, I would say personally, it is Kutti Story. I mean, instead of calling you by name, people will remember you by a Kutti Story actually. Yeah. Okay. I mean, tell me some experience, or people when you walking into a common place, did they identify, were able to identify or relate to that, your storytelling things?
Oh yeah. So people, as you rightly mentioned, have a very hard time pronouncing my name.
Yeah.
So whenever they see me, they would be like, explore. explore.
Okay.
That's
okay.
all they can say. So
Yeah.
explore and explore.
Yeah.
Or some would say, as you mentioned, Kuti story. Okay, Kuti story.
Yeah. Yeah.
But to my surprise, there was this one day I ordered something on Zepto.
Okay.
And that Zepto Anna gave me the snack and he was like, "You're Epaphra, right?" With proper pronunciation.
Pronounced, okay.
I was very shocked and I hugged him. Very good. Like, it's very hard to see people pronouncing my name rightly. And I was very shocked someone who who did this can pronounce my name.
Yeah,
I was very happy about that.
That's good. That's good actually. So I mean, definitely. I mean, always that's a turning point of your life actually. I would say Kuti story should have given you. I mean, really that identity actually.
Yeah.
So you have this company called Town Scholar actually. Tell us about it's been almost a year.
Yeah.
If I'm not wrong actually. Tell us about what kind of work you do in that actually.
Okay, so I've been creating content for almost 2 years now. And when it comes to Town Scholar is a very new company. I would say it's around 4 to 5 months.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Very small team. We are very focused on the clients that we pick.
Okay.
So I'll tell you how it started. So a lot of people texted me about. So I noticed that there is a huge demand for content creation, right? It is quite evident, and I still feel like there is still a lot of market gap, especially in regional content creation.
Okay, yeah.
When I started, there was a market gap. That is the reason why I started content creation.
Okay.
So I still feel the gap still exists. Right now, there are a lot of solo entrepreneurs or people from different professions, doctors, entrepreneurs, physiotherapists. Everyone comes and create content.
Yeah.
What we at Town Scholar do is, rather than helping these individuals, which we feel is quite easy. It's easy to help individuals create a brand online. But we want a brand to create a personality online. That's quite hard. For example, if you see Zomato, you will have some kind of mental image in your head. Zomato is funny.
Yeah.
Zomato is witty.
Yeah.
So we want to help such brands create, I wouldn't say create a personality. They will have a personality on its own, but to amplify that personality through online.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's what we would do in Town Scholar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's great actually. Here, I would like to make a point, regional content, because this is the one challenge when I wanted to start on social media. People are telling don't start in Tamil and all, and that to study abroad. If somebody wants to study abroad, they should know English. Then why you are starting in Tamil actually? Yeah. My idea is not to reach the student. My idea is to educate the parents, because 90% of the time, the student who's going abroad, they treat the parents as if they don't know anything. Okay, and most of the contents for study abroad are done in typically English actually. So that's why I started in Tamil, and to a greater extent, it is today I get about 10 million views per month actually. Okay. I don't know whether it's high or low for a Tamil content on a study abroad. I have not seen anybody else who's able to create that much of this thing actually. Okay. So as you rightly said, there is a huge gap between, or a gap on a vernacular content. So as a content creator, what kind of a scope you see it for a vernacular content?
Okay. There is a lot of scope. Okay. I can keep listing, right? For example, if you want to do, I'm talking about content creation.
Yeah.
If you want to do entertainment content, you can, let's say the topic is fitness. If you search such content on YouTube, fitness content, you will be able to see number of different content from West especially. These guys have set the bars way too high. And it's quite closer to impossible to reach there. It's insanely high.
Okay.
And let's say they are in level 10. Okay. If you can go till level 6 in vernacular language, I'm 100% sure you would be sitting on 1 million followers.
Oh, okay.
It can be any niche. It's already there. You don't even have to be creative.
You just copy it, model it rather.
You will have to take inspiration from it.
Yeah.
Of course, you will not be able to replicate it exactly. Anyway, you will have to bring your individuality, even if you don't want to.
Yeah.
And you will end up creating your own product.
Very true.
And that's the thing about vernacular language. If you just started, and I think another advantage as a creator, if you start in vernacular language, the audience would trust you more. There is more connection.
Yeah.
That's also there. Yeah.
That's okay. So, I mean, you also do workshop, right?
Yeah.
For storytelling, actually. So, typically, why did you start it?
Yeah.
Is it like, people were telling you that you are good at storytelling? Is that started? Or you feel like, oh, let me do this actually? Because generally, I don't know whether you make big money out of it. But, I mean, some people wanted to do it because I like doing it. So, what is the reason behind actually?
Okay, so when it comes to taking workshops, it is because of one of my friends.
Yeah,
so until then, I was like, okay, this is quite natural to me. If someone asked me, how do you create content? I would say, bro, it's intuition. That's the only thing I had. And then there was this one person, he was called Shashank. He was like, you can actually backtrace everything and create labels to what you have actually done. For example, if this is the hook, whenever I sit to write content, okay, this is going to be the hook. Now I will be more aware about, okay, how did I decide that this is going to be the hook? And then I created the patterns, and I noticed all of my videos have that similar patterns. And we have also experimented with this, the same with our clients as well. And we noticed like, okay, and we also read few books about storytelling, and everything aligns. So if someone wants to make use of this whole digital world and the abundant opportunity that we have, if they knew all of these stuff, all the labels that I've added to my pattern that I followed throughout my content creation journey, if they get access to it, then I thought that would be useful to them. So I was initially very hesitant to do it because I was like, can I actually give them results? But then I attended a lot of events where I taught storytelling more in person rather than online. I did once in online, but it was mostly in person.
Okay.
So that I can actually see people getting benefited out of it, irrespective of their profession. That's the beauty about storytelling.
Yeah.
You not necessarily will have to apply it online.
Anywhere.
Even you can apply it on your date.
Anywhere. So can I call that as a formula for, reaching some message effectively?
Exactly. Storytelling is one of the most powerful tool to put your message across to the world. Most powerful tool. The thing is, storytelling is a buzzword. So people would be like, okay, there is something called storytelling. But basically, when you say something and if the other person can feel something, then you are sorted. That's storytelling. If you can make the other person feel something, it could be happiness, it could be sadness, it could be inspiration, motivation. You are a good storyteller.
I attended a lot of workshop in the past actually. There's one message which changed in my life, or rather the way of how we communicate is. There's one phrase wherever I call it as actually, the meaning of the communication is the response what you get. Okay. So because generally, I have written a book called Sales Success Secrets. I'm also an author actually. So I emphasize a point on, it is not about, you cannot say that I have communicated. Are you flexible enough to communicate the way someone else can understand us actually? But that one, I think to a greater extent, probably I'll say, you can achieve it through a storytelling. 100% actually. See, I have a question here. The biggest challenge is, because I have went through this in my life. Okay. My dad and mom is not entrepreneur. Okay. My dad was a farmer. Mom is a farmer and housewife actually. So I studied like you, good student actually, so-called good student actually. Okay. Then I joined in a company. Then I wanted to start on my own actually. I faced through, do you want to leave the job? All these things actually. So tell us about because you worked in a very short time actually. Only 1 year, 1.5 years actually. And you said mom is a teacher actually. Okay. Dad is also working. So what was the acceptance from parent side? Okay. You're being paid well. Even, people in Tamil Nadu, typically families will say girl's family will not give you if you're doing a business and all. So what kind of challenges you faced it, or people around you, what did they tell you when you wanted to leave Zoho actually?
So this is also another question which a lot of people ask me.
Okay.
There was this one time where I was walking in the road and a guy, bumped into me and stopped his scooter and he was like, bro, why did you leave Zoho? So that's one question I keep on getting.
Okay.
So as you mentioned, I'm from a very conventional family. My mom is a teacher.
Okay.
They still have no clue about what I do for a living.
Okay.
So it's all there.
Okay.
So people say I took a huge risk, which is quitting a company like Zoho.
Okay.
But I would say, I'm very risk aversive.
Okay.
I hate taking risk.
Okay.
But I felt like being there for a longer time is a risk to me. I would explain you. You know Bear Grylls, the one who plays with snakes and all.
Yeah.
You know, if I see a snake sitting in front of me,
Yeah.
I would freak
obviously.
out.
Yeah.
But for him, it's not risk.
It's a toy.
It is a risk for me.
Yeah.
Likewise, risk is subjective for people.
Hmm.
For me, when I quit Zoho, to be honest, I was making twice the amount I was making in Zoho.
Yeah.
Through content, and I was also doing freelancing to a couple of person. I used to write for them.
Okay.
So it doesn't. So my parents were the only reason my parents was convinced is because of the money. They are from a conventional background. So I showed him, okay, this is the money that I'm making. It's double the amount. And even after that, I didn't quit. Even after that, I kept going to Zoho for like next 3 months. And only when I had like 6 months of runway to survive, only then I quit.
Okay. Okay.
So
They allowed you to quit.
Probably, yeah. I mean, I want to prove
Yeah.
that I'm capable to quit and do something else.
Yeah, on their own.
Yeah, it wasn't easy. Yeah.
So, I mean, I would say it is a parental way of love because whenever a parent scold their child,
Yeah.
okay, it is telling them that I love you. That is
Yeah,
a
yeah,
kind
yeah.
of a message because
Exactly.
they don't know I mean, will they shout somebody who's next door? They will not do.
Yeah.
They will only do this to their child because they love you actually.
Yeah.
Nothing more than that actually.
Yeah.
That's like, because again, I mean, coming back to the point, okay, you mentioned about, I mean, you've doubled the amount within the 3 to 6 months itself, you're able to double the amount what you are getting it at Zoho actually.
Yeah.
My question is, I mean, you were out of Zoho or on your own almost like, 1 year now actually.
Yeah,
Okay. Roughly, on an average, in a month, what kind of top line you do it actually?
Okay. So it's quite, it's not stable.
Okay.
There is a baseline.
Yeah. On an average. Okay.
On an average, I would give you a range.
Range.
Right?
Yeah.
It would be somewhere between 6 to 12 lakhs per month.
Per month actually.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, now the question comes to actually, so now you would have tasted the entrepreneurship actually. Okay. So entrepreneurship is not about like, smooth ride. There will be a bumpy ride. Okay. So it changes with various things actually. Okay. So what kind of challenges, I know it is a short time being 1 year, but what kind of challenges you faced? Okay. And what kind of precaution or advice you would give it to somebody else who wanted to take it entrepreneurship as as a path or as a career, as a dream or whatever you call it as actually.
All right. So to answer this question, as you mentioned, there is a lot of bumpy roads that we will have to take. But to be honest, the reason why I think I'm able to do all of these things is because I think it was because of the reason why I would say it's my job. I stayed in my job even if I don't want to continue working there. That built my character.
Okay.
So for example, I wanted to quit, but I couldn't because I didn't have the money. I didn't have the financial freedom at that point.
Okay.
So I had to show up even if I hated it. So that built my character. And right now I'm working 10x more than how I used to work now. Yet I'm more grateful for this. Because even if all of this goes away, even this Instagram account, this YouTube thing, and everything goes away, I would still be able to start all of this from scratch, because even in the worst case, I would not want to go back to the state which I was in earlier.
Actually.
So I think, that built my character a lot.
Because one thing which most of the entrepreneurs say this actually, I mean, even I do this day in, day out actually.
Okay.
When you work for somebody, you count the hours actually.
Yeah.
Okay. When you are being an entrepreneur, actually, it's almost like sometimes you work 24 hours, sometimes you don't even, feel like not working, you just take off and go actually.
Yeah.
So, those kind of moments.
Yeah.
Where all you felt like, where you feel like, I do it because I'm doing it for me. Where in the job you don't feel it actually. So, yeah. What kind of feeling that actually?
So I obviously feel low at a lot of times, but every time when I feel low, it's just that I'm more grateful to the place I am right now.
Okay.
Because I have a lot of friends who is working. I have a lot of friends who doesn't have a work.
Okay.
And when I look at them and I talk to them, I understand how tough the world is.
Yeah.
And I'm so grateful for the opportunities that I have, for the money that I could make by doing what I love. Because even though if you do a lot of work, there is some factor of luck that comes into the picture. So I'm so grateful. Like, I don't even want to complain about the challenges that I face. That's the thing. Because it's nothing in front of the rewards that I get.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe in the long run, I might face even more challenges.
Okay.
I might want to prepare myself for that.
Okay.
But for now, I'm not facing challenges that I will have to complain about.
Okay.
I don't think it would be justice to the work if I complain about it. I'm so grateful for everything that's happened.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, typically people talk about successful people. I'm talking about successful people. They might have faced 100 failures.
Yeah.
But the world will know only the one thing, which is they face success actually. World will not know about the failure. I mean, I know it is a short time. Whenever you face, so-called failure, what do you tell yourself actually?
So as you mentioned, people only will see the success or the good side of this.
Yeah.
So they would just call me like, okay, the one series that blow up, overnight success. But my communication used to be very, very bad, right? When I was younger, especially in Tirunelveli, my communication used to be very bad.
Yeah.
But I badly wanted to improve my communication. So there were like 4 to 5 solid years of me grinding every single day, having no clue about what to do, yet trying something every single day, and eventually I was able to get some good communication, and that led to the Scooty story, right? So as you mentioned, people wouldn't see the all the hustle that went behind the screen, and they would just say you are privileged.
Yeah, people associate always success towards luck. Actually,
Exactly.
people, what they discount is amount of work which is gone
Yeah.
to make the success happen.
Yeah,
That's pretty common, because that's the easy way of telling it. He is lucky.
Yeah.
Something worked out.
Yeah.
All these things actually. Yeah.
So whenever I face challenges per se, I'm someone who loves to have a purpose. So now when I say purpose, people think like it should be something very big, right? Like I want to live 80 years serving 10,000 people. That is also a purpose, but I keep purpose for every single thing.
Very true.
I feel like purpose makes your life very easier. People have different definition for purpose. For me, purpose makes my life very easier. For example, currently we are having this conversation, and the purpose of this conversation might be to it might help someone to learn something about content creation, entrepreneurship, or anything. We have a purpose. So even if I don't even want to do it, if I think about the purpose, okay, someone is listening on the other side, so I will have to speak. So it gives me motivation to continue what I do. So if we have purpose to every single thing, it might be as simple as taking the coffee cup and keeping it there. You might be very lazy, but if you kept it there, it would be easier for your mom. Think about it, and then it's very easy. So give purpose to every single very little things. It will make your life very easier. It's a cheat code, basically. Yeah.
Very true. You said sometime back that you wanted to do an MBA actually.
Yeah.
Say like tomorrow, by seeing this content, okay.
Yeah.
One of the, abroad, university in abroad, wanted to offer you an MBA with some scholarship. So what kind of things you expect from them actually?
So now initially when I wanted to do an MBA, it's completely because of the package.
Okay.
I want to get good package. That was my only goal. But now my expectations are completely changed.
Okay.
The reason I want to do MBA, especially in abroad, is because first, exposure.
Yeah.
I've been in Tirunelveli, I've been in Chennai, I've been in Bangalore. What's next?
Yeah.
I want to travel to other countries, which will give me great exposure. I've spoken to multiple entrepreneurs, and the one thing they would say is, no matter what you do, even if you don't have anything to do in abroad, just stay there for 3 to 6 months and collaborate with those people.
Okay.
And that exposure is something invaluable. So I want that exposure. That's something I value, I think that does the job. Yeah.
Good. Okay. Well, definitely, because like we'll also expose you to multiple universities. Some university matches your profile.
Yeah.
Definitely, we'll see how best can be done. Actually, I'm sure. I mean, like, our 40 minutes of this podcast, I'm sure even if changes few people's perception of entrepreneurship, or perception of content creation, or perception of storytelling, or perception of their limiting belief, or perception of their inferiority, actually, which we are talking about, or perception of mechanical student creating a content creation, actually, or perception of people from Tirunelveli. I mean, Tirunelveli, we don't have to say like, we have the Zoho founder also, actually. So from Tirunelveli, I mean, somebody can do it. Yeah, all these things, I'm sure, I mean, it can break, because like life is all about that. You don't need, I mean, like, big things to happen to change. Because I always say this, actually. Change happens, I mean, you don't need a big thing to do. Only a 2 mm. Say like example, if you hit the bat like this, assuming that it's going for a catch, you turn the bat in 2 millimeter.
Oh yeah.
Okay. It goes to, I mean, somewhere else, actually. Okay. So the entire path changes, actually. Even in the life, for things to change, you don't have to do big things.
Exactly.
The 2 mm difference is more than needed, actually. I'm sure in this podcast, I'm sure that can create to so many people. I would say thanks for your time. Such a wonderful, messages. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. You've been an excellent host. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.
Right.